Delano police making sure that you're safe amidst scams and price gouging. We'll tell you what the DPD's doing with a new task force that is out on patrol.
And all eyes are on the stock market as the Dow quivers up and down amid this outbreak. We have an update on where it closed and what to expect today.
We direct a statewide order for people to stay at home.
A growing pandemic reaching thousands and the call to action by the governor. The stay in place order will tell you what you should and should not do during this time.
Good morning and thanks for joining us for 23 ABC News at 6 a.m. on this Friday. I'm Danielle Kernkamp.
I'm Mike Hart. Glad you're here. Let's start things off with Officer Robert Rodriguez. He's standing by with a look at what's happening out on the roadways. Much traffic out there, Robert?
Not much, Mike. We're seeing a decreased amount of traffic out there on our roadways and freeways. But again, we want to advise people to please slow it down. We want you to take your time. Yes, you will see a decreased amount of traffic out there on our roadways. But again, always obey those speed limit signs and be courteous to your fellow motorists when you're out and about. But right now, no crashes to report and still no major incidents out there on our roadways and freeways. That's my look at traffic. Alyssa will send it back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Robert. Taking a look at our current temperature outside, you can see we're at 49 degrees right now. We're actually getting cooler as the morning goes on as we try to hit our low this morning. You can see on our radar, though, over Kern County, not a lot going on over our radar at this hour. There was definitely some activity yesterday. You may have gotten some scattered showers in whichever part of town you're at. Not a lot of measurable rain, though, here in Bakersfield. We do see some other parts of the county, like Keene, got about a quarter of an inch where they're at. Now, we know you're probably getting a little stir crazy as you're holding in place at home, but don't forget you are still able, under this stay at home order, you are still able to get out and get some exercise. So at 9 a.m., 48 degrees here in town. You will need to bring a light jacket if you're headed out for a morning run.
Topping our news at 6, the Kern County Sheriff's Department investigating a shooting overnight in Oildale that left one man injured. KCSO got the call just after midnight and responded to an alley that's right off Lincoln Avenue to reports of a shooting. They found a man suffering from a wound to his arm. He was taken to Kern Medical with moderate injuries and is expected to survive. Now, that victim told deputies that he was approached by a man who asked him for a cigarette, and when the victim refused, the man apparently shot him. There's no suspect information right now. It's an ongoing case. And if you have any information about this, you're asked to call KCSO at the number right there, 861-3110. Meantime, the Delano PD is implementing new ways to try and combat the COVID-19 pandemic. 23 ABC's Kylie Walker spoke to the chief of police about their new coronavirus task force.
Patrol is still handling patrol functions. Detectives is still handling detective functions. What we did was we took members of our administrative branch of the organization whose work naturally began to minimize or even deplete because of the situation that we're in, and we quickly reassigned them to this COVID-19 response unit.
Delano Police Corporal Jose Madrigal says the COVID-19 response unit is comprised of 3 officers in addition to himself.
We're gathering and analyzing information being provided by the state and the federal government in order to better protect ourselves and the community members.
He says their job is to go out and make sure there are no injustices going on within the city regarding COVID-19. And Navarez adds that they have seen an increase with price gouging during this time.
Unfortunately, we've already handled half a dozen complaints of that type and have had to go out and put businesses on notice that that practice is not allowed during a emergency.
They've also established an emergency operations center within their facility.
This is primarily a place where leaders from within the city could meet and come up with a game plan regarding emergency situations.
If there was a situation where maybe public health or fire needed to use an emergency operations center, we have such a center that's fully capable and ready to stand up within a matter of minutes.
Navarez says in cases like this, there's a lot of information that begins to bombard an organization.
And if there aren't structures in place to receive that information and disseminate it to the workforce, it doesn't get handled appropriately.
Navarez says they are taking these precautions in order to get ahead of this.
Fortunately, things like this don't happen very frequently. In my 34-year career, I've only had things like this happen 3 times. but we have to be flexible, and that's what we're doing here in the city of Delano.
I'm Kylie Walker, 23 ABC, connecting you.
Now, if you would like to contact Delano's COVID-19 response unit, you can do so at their non-emergency dispatch number 661-721-3377. Delano police are already putting their new COVID-19 task force to work, stopping a case of price gouging. Delano police say they received an anonymous call Thursday regarding price gouging at Los Michoacanos Bakery on Jefferson Street. Detectives investigated the call and discovered the owners bought a 4-pack of Lysol disinfectant spray for $16, but they were selling individual bottles for $18 each. The owners also bought latex gloves, paying $49 for 10 boxes, but were selling each box for $10. The case has been forwarded to the DA's office for review. Officials say businesses caught price gouging will be prosecuted.
Many questions have been looming about making various payments to the city of Bakersfield without having to physically go down there. Well, we have those answers for you. In an effort to reduce foot traffic to City Hall North, the city's finance department is asking you to make the majority of your payments, including certain taxes, licenses, and fees, either through online portals or via the mail. Yes, a check in the mail. For more details, head to the city's COVID-19 webpage. It's in the frequently asked questions section, the FAQ or FAQ section.
Market futures overnight pointing at times to a higher open on Wall Street after a back and forth day ended with the Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ all closing slightly up. Stock markets around the world also trading a little bit higher as governments have been rolling out stimulus plans to fight the slowdown caused by the spread of the virus.
And a classic case of supply and demand being fueled by a global epidemic that's impacting Kern County. Gas prices are falling fast. According to AAA, drivers in about a quarter of the country's states are seeing gas prices under $2 a gallon. That's not here. The national average sits at $2.19. Once again, not here. But that $2.19 is the lowest it's been since December 2016. Prices are plummeting, down another 13 cents in just a week. Oil prices not only being impacted by the virus, which is cutting demand for gas as people stay home, but also the price war going on between Russia and Saudi Arabia. When we say under $2 a gallon, boy, wouldn't that be nice to see here?
That'd be nice to see here, but this is much cheaper than we're used to seeing, especially in the months leading up to summer. Those price drops are also happening here in Kern County. The average price sits at $3.33 locally, according to AAA, which is just above the California average of $3.25. Now, according to GasBuddy.com, the lowest prices in Bakersfield can be found at both Costco locations, the one on Panama Lane and the one on Rosedale. You can fill up your tank for $2.75 a gallon at those locations. Outside of Costco, if you don't have a Costco card, you can go to Sam's Club, $2.75, or Larson's Food and Gas, that's on Weibel Road. This is the top 10 cheapest prices in Bakersfield, and all of them are below $2.85 a gallon.
The coronavirus pandemic has impacted Kern County in almost every way imaginable so far, including animal services. Officials say the outbreak has impacted their services and they need your help. 23 ABC's Austin Westfall joining us live now with more on what exactly they need. Austin?
Yeah, Kern County Animal Services have been shut down since earlier this week due to a CDC recommendation, and that meant no more adoptions.
No adoptions means no animals are leaving, but there's still animals coming in. So we're only left with really the foster care program.
Officials with Kern County Animal Services say that during the coronavirus pandemic, they've been seeing a slight decrease in the number of animals they're taking in, but still they're seeing about 10 to 15 new animals a day.
When there's too many animals coming in and nothing leaving, the option is euthanasia. Nobody here wants to put a dog down.
But some good news. Right now, the shelter is well under capacity thanks to county residents who have stepped up and offered to foster during this time of need. And although there's plenty of empty cages here signifying pets that have already been fostered, there's still a select few here who need your help.
There's a drive-through set up here where there is no interaction. You pull up, we put the food and supplies in your car, put the dog in your car or cat in your car, and you're off.
The shelter is closed for adoptions until April 14th, tentatively. Officials saying if you want to foster, you can head to their website, kerncountyanimalservices.org, and click on Become a Foster Parent. You'll fill out a form, and they'll contact you if they think one of their animals is a good fit.
If people foster, they foster with the understanding that it could be for the next 30 days or so.
And some news coming out of the shelter late last night. In light of Governor Gavin Newsom's order that all California residents should stay home, the shelter says it will not be doing drive-by fosters. They're not going to have foster pickups today. We don't know about the future, but we're going to have to keep you posted on our website, turnto23.com, about that. They say that out of all the animals that they still have left, it's going to be taken care of by their staff. For now, in Northwest Bakersfield, Austin Westfall, 23 ABC, connecting you.
Thanks, Austin. And we've been getting a lot of questions about what exactly is an essential business. Well, the state put out this response to try and clear things up. They said that we will stay home starting last night, and it's in place until further notice. No expected date right now. And they're asking, what can I do? What's open? That's a very common question we've been hearing. So gas stations, pharmacies, food, banks, and laundromats and laundry services, those are considered the essential businesses. Obviously, what's closed includes dine-in restaurants, bars, entertainment venues, gyms, public events, and convention centers. And this now applies throughout the entire state of California. And it's a shame because it is such a nice day to get outside, but you're still able to get outside and take your dog for a walk, things like that.
Yeah, you definitely are, especially in the morning hours is the best idea because we are expecting a chance of scattered showers later on this afternoon. So best to do it in the morning, but you will need to bring a jacket. You can see we are in the 40s for much of the county right now at this hour, 45 in McFarland. We're looking at 28 degrees for you in Lebec. So taking a look at our futurecast, you can see that chance of showers coming through our county on Friday. Saturday, another slight chance of showers moving on through. Not a very strong chance, though. We clear out for most of the day. And then Sunday, we are talking about the chance of some strong chance of showers coming into our region on Sunday night. We'll talk about that more coming up. But you can see this is where we're supposed to get today in Bakersfield, 66 degrees. Much of the valley looking at highs in the mid 60s. Of course, we'll continue to keep you updated on that storm that we're going to see next week. For now, we're going to send things over to CHP Officer Robert Rodriguez. Get a look at where our roads are at this morning. Good morning, Robert.
Hey, good morning, Alyssa. Well, our roadways are looking really nice out there. And again, everything has been flowing nice and smooth here locally on our city streets as well as our freeways. But again, caution everyone to please slow it down. Take your time out there. No need to rush. And just remember, again, to always buckle up those seatbelts. But if you are going to make your travels out of town, right now your major routes are all open. That's my look at traffic. Mike and Danielle, we'll give it back